Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead discussion topic video. This one we're going to be talking about some Easter eggs that have been clearly planted in the Walking Dead Season 4's second half. Alright, so before we take a look at the actual pictures themselves, I want to go ahead and say a few words. So, with regards to exactly what an Easter egg is or what I'm talking about, it's basically something that the creators of the show essentially put into the show, movie, series, whatever the case may be. And it essentially is like just a little thing that's in there that, people that are big fans of that series or show or movie or whatever, can kind of catch and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. That relates back to something else. For example, we had the scene with Beth crying where there was a baseball bat with wrapped barbed wire around it earlier on in the season, and there's been a lot of these throughout The Walking Dead Season 4. They've actually done a better job, I think, in Season 4 of sort of planning what they're going to do and leading up to it way beforehand. So, for example, in Too Far Gone, we saw the most climactic battle in all of Walking Dead. Even comic books, TV series, whatever, the way it played out, I thought was the most epic I've ever seen for a zombie apocalypse story. Just incredible episode. Before that, you have in the premiere episode, and you might not have caught it, you might not remember, but if you go back and you watch it again, I believe it's the premiere or one of the first few episodes, you have Rick who's talking to Herschel, and they're talking about being too far gone, getting to come back. And then later on, we hear Rick say basically the same thing in Too Far Gone, and it just... They've done a lot of that throughout the season of so many things that they've planted in the show that later on come into play. So foreshadowing, also in addition to that, we have, for example, like a lot of the recent things that we've seen could be foreshadowing different things, but we've seen a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of planting of different concepts, ideas, and little things that later on they kind of come back to. So in this one, we'll look at a few recent ones. We have the first picture that we'll take a look at right now is from Claimed. So of course, when Rick, Michonne, and Carl were staying at that house before they met, who are now being called Joe's group, I call them, but the Marauders, I guess. Right before he met them, when you have Carl and Michonne, they're at this house basically looking for some stuff, and they see a strange painting as well. Well, there's a couple of little things, but the painting especially. So let's take a look at that so you guys can see. Okay, so first off, we'll take a quick look at sort of a Foursquare view of the similarities between the things that we're seeing at the house that Carl and Michonne were at and what we're seeing now at Terminus. At the top left, of course, you can see some, I believe they're called sunflowers, correct me if I'm wrong, and at the right side you see Michonne at the house, and there is a nice, beautiful painting of the exact same type of flower. Many episodes earlier, of course, in Claimed. In the bottom left, we have the painting that Michonne finds, if you guys remember that, with the sort of scratched out mouth and the eye, kind of a twisted, creepy, weird painting type deal. And at the right side, we have Mary, who has a fairly striking resemblance to that picture itself. Let's take a zoomed in look at the comparison between the two. Okay, so here she is next to a zoomed up or zoomed in version of it. This has also been shared quite a bit all over the internet. You have people on Facebook sharing it. You have people on Google Plus, whatever the case may be, sites just kind of showing the similarities between the two. The same thing was done for Lizzie prior, because Lizzie does have some resemblance to the painting as well, but I believe the painting is intended to foreshadow Mary. I think that house that they stumble into was probably Mary's house, or at least that's kind of hinting as to what it's supposed to be. Of course, you can see the hair is very similar. The shape of the face is somewhat similar. The eyebrows are fairly similar, and especially the way that she wears her hair to the her left. As it kind of comes down. Also, you'll notice, of course, that it is disfigured horribly. The eye has been painted over or scratched right out, basically. The mouth as well, too, with blood kind of pouring down. bringing into question who would have done that, who would have painted it in such a manner. Was it her? Does she have some kind of inner demon, so to speak, and did that to herself after some of the things she had to do as she met McGareth possibly, and they started off on their sort of post-zombie apocalypse adventure, I guess you could say, for them anyway. And a lot of people, I had at least 10 different people ask me about this, so I thought I would go ahead and kind of give my my thoughts on it. It is pretty cool, and I do believe that's what they intended, of course, to do, is kind of to put this out there to kind of as an Easter egg, so that people can kind of know that there's something sinister about this character, even though on the surface she looks so nice and sweet and kind-hearted. People online have even gone as far as to point out that they have clearly stolen or hijacked the governor's table umbrella. So that's pretty much it in terms of the pictures I have that I wanted to share. There's other things as well too, like the eye in the painting is the same eye that the governor loses. She looks somewhat like a character from the Walking Dead video game, who I believe her name is different. Let's see. Brenda St. John, it seems. I guess she's a cannibal in the video game. I vaguely remember that because I did play through that part, but I don't remember it all that well. In addition to that, I mean, there's other things too, like with the location being close to Macon and possible tie-ins with the video game series as well, which is strange because we were kind of told that the Walking Dead television series is not really supposed to have anything to do with the video game, and that it's not really canon for this series. It's its own entire thing. So I guess they're kind of maybe backtracking in that as well too. And also there's one more actually I should show before we close out, and that is of a zombie who is from Day of the Dead, one of probably the most famous zombie of all time in terms of zombie movies, and that is Bub, who is also shown in Us in the tunnel. Let's take a look at that. Very cool. I actually did not notice it at all during watching the episode. I just didn't see it until people afterwards had pointed it out to me online. I kind of found somebody private messaged me this, and I actually looked into it, and it's totally legit. And who is Bub? Basically, he's from Day of the Dead, a Romero film, and he's essentially a smart walker. So that means he can actually fire a gun, and there's other things that he does as well too in the movie, as this doctor is working with him to try to sort of bring him back to some form of small intelligence, so to speak. And he does. He's able to succeed at that. He'll listen to music and he'll do different things like this. It's really, really clever, really funny. Check out the movie for like Day of the Dead. You can even watch it online. I've been meaning to review it for like 2 years. I'll probably review it this summer when The Walking Dead's not on. But that's very cool that they did this little tie-in, because up until now I was under the impression they were not going to be doing things like this at all. They weren't going to be tying it into any other zombie movies or anything, especially because George Romero, basically the creator of everything zombies and what we know of zombies in pop culture today, in addition to The Walking Dead, because it's had huge popularity and really added to the genre. But the creator of the zombie section of pop culture, I would say, George Romero, he actually doesn't like The Walking Dead. And I've done a video on that as well too. You guys can check that out. It's in the channel on what he said about it. But essentially, yeah, he doesn't like The Walking Dead. He thinks this is soap opera with zombies. So it's kind of strange they decided to do this, but very cool at the same time. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys, if you guys didn't know about any of these, and there's others too. They've done a lot of this throughout the season. For example, the walker, the rich bitch sign on the walker. There's all kinds of different little ones that you guys can look through from this season. It's definitely a season that has a lot of replay value of things you wouldn't notice on second viewing. You hear them say certain things, and it's like, wow, that's really cool because of what happens afterwards. So definitely check through all these and do your own research if you want to see some more, because there are more. I haven't touched on everything. There's a lot of them out there, but very cool stuff. So we'll all do a salute for Bub, and that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think, and if you found any others, please let me know, because I do find it kind of fun just to see different little Easter eggs they've included, because they've done so many. Let's discuss, let's talk about it, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, as always, saying peace.